on, guys? Coach Abby here to bring you some tips and tricks on your jiu-jitsu if you're just starting off or continuing, if you are looking to better your health and fitness journey, or you're just wanting to get 1% better each and every day. Today I'm actually going to be talking about why it seems blue belts tend to fall off the cliff right when they get their blue belts. Just kidding. But seriously, there is something that goes with blue belts, promotions. It can happen actually any time in life, but for some reason blue belts get pegged, and so I'm gonna break it down as to what it looks like might be the reasons they tend to quit or just drop off. And that's okay. For me, one of the reasons I never actually had that opportunity to just quit or leave, which I'm thankful for, is because I worked for training. I always tried to find a way to save money because I didn't have a lot of it. And so throughout my time in jiu-jitsu, especially the first probably 4 years, the first year I didn't work, but they gave me a lot of financial help. And so I took advantage and the blessing, and I tried to run with it and really show that I was appreciative. The second school that I went to when I transferred, I worked at that school to be able to train and afford to train because I wanted it that bad, which is where I got my blue belt, and I was a blue belt for a lot of that time there. Now as a purple belt, it's just a huge investment that I want to make. I enjoy making, and it's something that makes me really happy and feel really satisfied. So I would say the first reason is you feel a big level of accomplishment. Working up from your white belt, 1, 2, 3, 4 stripes, and hitting a blue belt, it feels great. Secondly, it's time consuming. And so I think that what ends up happening is people see that it truly is a time consuming sport. And so if they're not categorizing it either as a hobby or something they want to do consistently, they tend to fall off. So it's important for you to kind of see and direct where you're going to be putting jiu-jitsu and in which category. You can't go all and then nothing, because then people end up coming back years later and then they end up feeling worse because they have their blue belt but they haven't met those requirements because they've taken so much time off. It's better that they come back and not just quit altogether, but it tends to happen because it is a time-consuming sport and they have put in a lot of effort in the very beginning during their white belt journey. The second thing I'm going to say is sometimes injuries happen and exhaustion happens and priorities are not set straight. They will tend to quit, or not quit but pull away and take time off, is because the priorities aren't straight, and so then life will happen and they haven't put it in as a priority, and so it just gets pushed down and down and down and down. Now, one thing I'll say is seasons happen where you might not be able to train as much as you'd like. However, I do think if you want this to be something you do in the long run, even as a blue belt, even during the hard seasons, you try to get in 1 or 2 sessions a week. That will help you mentally stay on track along with physically, and not feel like you're not going to make it, or what's the point of going back, right? Unless there's some drastic health reason or personal reason, you just don't want to go back and you're okay with it. But that tends to be something that I've seen, is that there really has not been a clear set priority as to what jiu-jitsu is going to do for them and what they're willing to sacrifice in order to make it happen, whether it's 1 or 2 days a week or 4 or 5 days a week. And then the last thing that I think has really shifted is when you are a blue belt, you start to know things. You start to feel much more confident than you were as a white belt. Still don't know very much, I didn't know very much as a blue belt, okay? But I thought I did, especially when I hit like 2nd, 3rd stripe. I really thought I was learning a lot, and it's so silly looking back, but it happens because you go for so many months with trying to just survive or acquire the information and use it and execute on it when you're a white belt, that when you finally hit that blue belt level, it's like, I know things. And then it's like, well, you know things, maybe 1 or 2 things, but you really just now tapped into your game. And that's when I'm like, why would you give up so much time as a blue belt? It's different if you have a different reason, right? But if you're just taking time off just to be like, oh, I'm a blue belt, so now I can take time off, or I have other things to do. but you really don't. It happens where you just don't make it a priority. You feel like you know a lot, and so it's like, I don't really need to go back because I know quite a bit. And that's cool if you do, but if you plan to make jiu-jitsu a long-term thing, do yourself a favor. Find where its category belongs as far as the importance and the priority. Make it solidified and then make it happen. And if it's a financial thing, but you know you want it without a doubt, then you should be able to find a way, because most people do. I know I did. It was not easy. I did not have a lot of money, but I worked so hard and I wanted it so bad. And I know that that'll happen for you too. And if you can't seem to find a way, I would in fact go to my professor, go to your professor and say, I'm really struggling. I will help work. I will help clean. I will help find a way. I want this. And I'm telling you, most jiu-jitsu teachers and professors, they want students like that that are willing to learn and work, because that's something invaluable. And if you can be that person and show that you in fact have so much more to give, they're gonna keep you around, or hopefully they'll keep you around. But you never know their financial issues either, so just be aware of that as well. If you're a blue belt, no hard feelings. It's just one of those humorous things that I felt like we should talk about. If you're a blue belt and you've taken a lot of time off, maybe this is a good sign for you to get back to it. If you are a blue belt, let me know what is one reason that you feel like you've maybe taken a step back. I would love to know. I think that I could have possibly taken a step back if I had the ability to, but like I said, I worked to train. That was how I made ends meet, and that's how I was able to actually stay training throughout college. So I didn't have much of a choice, and I'm glad I didn't. But I want to know, what are you going through right now that's made you want to take some time off? If it's something super personal, that's a completely different story. If it's something that you feel you can share it down below so we can help see more clearly what there is to be unpacked here. If you like what you see, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.